Shawn Kershaw, and I'm the host of To Whom It May Concern. And To Whom It May Concern is a TV show that we're filming right here in the Okemo Valley, and we're talking to Vermonters of all ages and walks of life, whether they've been here for generations or they're transplants here. We just want to get to know them. We want to preserve the history that is so unique to Vermont, and we want to capture the interesting stories that it is about living and working and plaguing in Vermont. So these are stories that we can listen to. Our guest today is Bill Tucker. He's a long-timer in Vermont, and we're going to get into how long time that is in just a second. So welcome, and I hope you enjoyed this show. So hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm terrific.
Are you good? Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Taking time out of your day. So I'm going to kind of start way back in history, all right? So you are not a first-generation Vermonter.
I am not.
You are not.
No.
Give us a little background. Tell us where you came from and how long. Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you want the long story or the
I
nutshell?
want whatever you want to tell us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I live on South Hill.
In Ludlow.
In Ludlow.
Yep.
Grew up there, and I'm still there. I've been up there 70 years.
Wow.
My grandparents, on my father's side, my father's father emigrated from Nova Scotia.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
in
interesting.
the early 1900s.
Okay.
And
And what prompted that?
well,
That's such an interesting thing to do, to go from
Yeah.
Nova Scotia to Vermont.
yeah,
Like, what landed that?
I don't know for sure.
Interesting,
But
yeah.
I do know shortly before they came, he had 4 siblings that died within 2 weeks of each other.
From influenza, probably,
I am
or
not sure,
some type
but
of,
it was
something that
yeah,
swept through.
It swept through the family.
Wow. Oh,
the
my
3
goodness.
surviving brothers
Yeah.
emigrated to Vermont.
Wow. And what did they come here for? They plan on farming? Did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
2 brothers ended up, one on South Hill and one on Town Farm Road.
Okay, so just miles apart. Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, half a mile through
Yeah,
as the crow flies.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So they took up farming, and the youngest brother ended up in Greenfield, Massachusetts.
Okay, got it.
The two brothers that moved to the farms. Actually, let me back up a second.
Sure.
My grandfather, James Tucker, met my grandmother down here.
Okay.
She was a gal from Bellows Falls.
All right, so she was originally
She
from
was,
Vermont.
Yep,
Okay.
she was a hill
Got
that
it.
lived in Bellows Falls.
Okay.
And actually on her side was 7 generations.
Wow,
of
of Vermonters.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he wasn't going anywhere.
He
right?
wasn't going
No,
anywhere.
This is it. You better plant roots here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
okay.
they ended up and they bought the farm on South Hill. They actually, when they first got into farming, they rented a farm on the hill for a couple of years, and then they bought the farm where I grew up.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how big was that?
It was 165 acres.
That's a good size.
Originally, yeah.
Okay.
So when I say farms, these were what I call hill farms.
Okay.
So
Tell us what that is.
Well, they were a smaller farm.
Okay.
I mean, a good sized herd for a hill farm was 20, maybe 30 head of cattle.
And when they did farming, that's what they did. They didn't grow crops, they grew animals.
Yeah,
Or they herded. Okay.
yes.
And what were the animals that they
So
primarily?
it was dairy cows.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
And everybody kept a few beef cows as well.
Sure.
So these farms are pretty self-sufficient as well.
Interesting. Okay.
Like our farm in particular. By the time I came along, well, let me back up.
Yeah, sure.
I'm skipping ahead.
Yeah, it's okay.
So when my grandfather bought the place, it had been a sheep farm originally, because wool was big in the state for a few generations, and everybody cashed in on it.
Right,
And they kept clearing pastures, and it was a sheep farm. And then the wool industry kind of tanked.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there was competition from out west.
Could
and
be,
then
yeah,
cotton
absolutely.
came in.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So the sheep industry.
Yeah, wasn't as profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went.
So they had to shift or pivot.
Yeah, they
Okay,
pivot. So they
yeah.
get into dairying.
Okay. Got it. All right.
Yeah. So my grandfather and my grandmother, they had 8 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Wow. And
yeah.
they were all raised on that farm.
They were all raised on that farm. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away when he was 55.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So my grandmother.
That must have been a hardship.
Yeah, my grandmother was left with 8 kids.
8 children. And how old were they? Like in about,
I think
mean, no, you don't
my
know
Aunt
exactly.
Rena was the eldest, and I think at that point she was probably 18.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then 7 other siblings younger than
seven
her.
others younger.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, my Uncle Bill had to quit school at 16, and he went to work.
Yeah.
He went to work in a woolen mill in
Okay.
town.
Wow.
To
And
help.
your mother or your grandmother must have been a formidable woman.
She was.
I'll bet she
Yeah,
was.
She was. She was a
Wow.
wonderful lady. I can just barely remember her.
Yeah.
But
okay.
she would brook no shenanigans.
Yeah,
so to
I'll
speak.
bet.
Yeah.
I'll bet she couldn't.
Yeah.
She didn't have time.
Yeah.
She didn't have time
Yeah,
to do
she
it.
didn't have
Okay.
time.
Got
Yeah.
it. All right. Awesome. Thank
So,
you.
Yeah, and then from there, my father followed my Uncle Bill's footsteps shortly after, because back then my father was born in 1912.
Okay.
So it really was a different era.
Yes.
At that point.
It's pre-World War I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
World War I.
And you know, Vermont was pretty remote.
Yes.
At that time.
Yes.
I remember my dad telling that, you know, if they wanted to go to town, they took a horse and buggy. Or rode the horse. Yeah. Seriously,
Yeah.
I mean that
was your
your
MO.
That was your transportation.
How else could you get
yeah.
there?
I
And
mean,
what was that like? Was that like a half a day? Like we're going to spend the day
well, no,
getting to and from town?
well, it was
that
3.
much?
We were 3.5 miles from
Okay.
town. So it was, you know, maybe
A couple hours.
Not even.
Yeah,
Probably
okay.
probably half an hour on
Okay.
the horse. Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah, doable.
Yeah, exactly.
And
right.
a quicker ride home because the horse was headed for the barn,
exactly.
so to speak.
He was
yeah.
motivated.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Just
yeah.
What an interesting detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, as time went on, my father met my mother.
Okay.
And actually, that's another side story.
All right, let's hear it.
There was 2 brothers. He and his older brother, Bill,
Okay.
went to a dance in Gassett.
Mm-hmm.
And they,
Gassett, Vermont.
Gassett's, Vermont,
Okay,
just
got it.
down the road.
Okay.
Went to this dance, and they met these 2 blonde Finnish girls, which one turned out to be my mother, Esther,
Okay.
and her sister, Helen, married my Uncle Bill.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So 2 sisters married 2 brothers.
2 sisters married 2 brothers.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. So growing up, it was interesting because my folks had 6 kids, and my Aunt Helen and Uncle Bill had 6 kids.
Oh my God.
So we always called each other double cousins.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were very close.
I'll bet.
So
oh my goodness. And you live close to each other. You're just a couple miles apart at this
they were in
point?
Smithville.
Okay.
So it was
Got
a drive.
That's a little further down.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
That was exciting.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. So now mom and dad, they inherit the farm from?
My dad took over the farm at that after my folks were married.
Got it. Okay.
It was a few years after they were married. Actually, my dad and mom went to Lynn, Massachusetts for the winter.
Oh, to get out of the weather.
Well, my dad, the work was scarce.
Okay,
So my dad went to work in a mill down there.
Yeah.
And my mother spent the winter down there, and she'd had enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they headed back, and that's when they took over the farm.
There you go. And is your mom from Vermont? Is she a?
She is.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, her folks emigrated from Finland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
And they ended up in Chester, Vermont.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
My grandfather on my mother's side was he was a ship's carpenter on a tall ship that sailed from Finland.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was how you got across the ocean.
Yeah. And he actually
that's
he came through
amazing.
he came through Ellis Island.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen his records, or do you know?
I haven't.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know how
no,
you go about
no.
that, but I think that's an interesting thing. Wow.
It was
Amazing.
interesting as he was as he came to America, he couldn't speak much English.
Of course not, sure.
So when he was going through the
Customs.
procedure,
Yeah.
customs,
Yeah.
his last name was Taikina, which is a Finnish name.
Sure.
The people couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, we don't think so.
So
Yeah, we're gonna
they said, "What's your father's name?" And he said, "John." So he became Johnson right then.
There
and
you
there.
go.
Yeah,
That's it.
John's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like that better.
Yeah.
It's easier for us.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly. Let's
Yeah.
make it all easier for
Yeah.
Americans, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
that was his surname then.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he met my grandmother over here, and they settled in Chester.
Okay. Got it.
They were first in Massachusetts as well, and they rode a horse and buggy to Chester. Wow. And bought this old farm on Quarry Hill in Chester.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the house had been burned because
Okay.
he just got the land basically.
Yeah, yeah,
And
okay.
part of a barn.
Yeah.
So the first thing he built, typical Finn, was the sauna. And
Was the
yeah,
sauna.
Yeah. And that's
I can make do without everything else.
There you go.
I need that.
so they lived in that while they
Wow.
were while he built the house.
Wow.
And,
well, I think
yeah.
he had his priorities
Yeah,
straight.
he
Yes,
did.
me.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Don't build the kitchen. Build the sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
excellent.
in fact, 3 of my uncles were born in the sauna.
Oh my goodness.
That was kind of a traditional thing.
Really?
You gave birth
Wow.
in the sauna.
Wow.
Well, you think about it.
Yeah.
I guess it's sterile.
Oh,
you know?
sure. And it's warm.
It's warm.
Yeah. And it's
yeah.
warm even here in Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So now what? Now where are we?
So now we're back on South Hill.
Okey
Okay,
doke.
with the farm.
Right.
And like I said, it was pretty backwater. It was, I told about my dad growing up with the horses.
Yeah.
And a funny story he used to tell about one time he went to saddle up to go to town, and his father had warned him. He said, "We've got kind of a spirited horse."
Yeah.
He said, "Make sure you put the saddle on
Yeah.
outside the barn."
Okay.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So my dad was in a rush, and he
Didn't have time.
he didn't have time. He got the
He was busy.
Yeah, he went to saddle him up in the
Yeah.
stall and got on him.
Oh no.
And of course the ceiling was only about 7.5 feet tall, and the horse bucked. Not once, but several times. And
Wow.
my father thought that was going to be the end of him.
Oh my goodness.
And he said, "Well, that's maybe the reason Dad said not to get on."
Exactly.
in the
Maybe I should
barn."
listen to my
Yeah,
dad. Exactly.
Yeah.
So horses were part of the industry of the farm,
Yes.
getting back and forth and,
absolutely.
and working the actual farm. They
Absolutely.
weren't pets. They weren't,
They
weren't going to the Kentucky Derby.
This was transportation. There was
Yeah.
work horses
Right,
to
right.
pull the machinery.
Yeah,
yeah.
Now, did they have, did they have electric machinery or gas machinery? Did they have, tractors and things like that, or was it mostly horsepower?
When my dad was living on the farm, it was all horsepower.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's one generation
That's
ago.
one generation. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And like I
Okay.
said, my dad was born in 1912, and I was the youngest of the 6 kids.
Right.
So there was I think he was 40 when he had me. So.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's
That's
not
amazing.
that far removed.
It isn't
yeah,
that far removed.
Yeah.
But what a difference in lifestyle.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and you think, the farm. This was before telephone on the
Yeah,
hill.
for sure.
This was before electricity on the hill.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't until the 50s that
Okay.
they ran electricity on the hill. My oldest brother remembered when they did it.
Really. So you were still a kid,
Yeah.
and you're still living on your family farm,
Yes,
and you've got
yeah,
electricity.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And my brother always said what a game changer that was for my mom,
Absolutely.
because all of a sudden she had refrigeration.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there goes the salt
right.
pork. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You got refrigeration.
exactly.
She got a washing machine.
Right,
It was
right.
it was a ringer washer.
Yeah, that's okay.
But-
yeah.
yeah.
It's okay. We'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Refrigeration. She got an electric stove.
Yeah.
You didn't have to start the wood
fire
stove in the kitchen.
Yeah, or keep it, have at least
Yeah.
embers in there so you could light it easily the next morning.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then how about heat?
So,
or did you say probably with wood with heat?
Yeah. So when you say heat,
which is a relative term. Yeah,
I have pictures I have to show you.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So the old farmhouse was cold.
Yeah.
There was no insulation.
Okay, sure.
There was single pane windows. They rattled in the frames.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a 6-burner cook stove in the kitchen.
Okay.
And my mom would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and get that thing going.
Wow.
And she was an early riser anyhow.
Good thing. Yeah.
But us kids would come downstairs and we'd all huddle up behind the wood stove.
Absolutely.
We'd get the dog out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wait for
you
the
could
house.
be here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wow. Now,
Yeah.
where did you go to school?
So there was 2 one-room schoolhouses on the hill. I didn't go there.
Okay.
But there was one right up from the farm.
Okay.
That my grandfather actually he donated the land for the schoolhouse.
For the school. Wow. And what's there now?
The schoolhouse is still there.
Is it really?
But it's a residence now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
He must have done a good job building it.
Yeah. Well, actually, this was the second one that was there. The first one had burned in 1927, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was a lot of Finns living on the hill at the time, and they all got together and they built this.
The next one.
The next one.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I would think that fire was, it was difficult to survive it. It was difficult for a building to survive fire back then, particularly, because they just didn't have the equipment to, you mentioned 2 different properties that things burned down.
Sure.
So that must have been a common thing.
Well, and especially, I guess, like with the schoolhouse, they had a big chunk stove to heat the place with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like you said, there's being that remote.
Yeah.
And with the equipment they had.
Yeah. Who's there?
They saved the foundation.
Yeah,
I guess,
exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, do you still live on the property that your grandfather and your father owned, or a portion of it?
I'm on a portion of it.
A portion of it. Wow, that's amazing.
My folks sold the farmhouse in 1973.
Okay. Okay.
But I have a piece across the road.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have some acreage that I've
bought
back over the years.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah. So that's
lovely.
That's where I still am.
I wouldn't leave if I were you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay, anything we missed? I don't want to.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay,
How much time you got?
We'll see. So when you were growing up, while you're looking, you were growing up. You're still, South Hill. I'll ask you how South Hill has changed in a second, but South Hill was a pretty remote place still, and where are your buddies? Or is it your family, or are there other families there? Like, who are you playing with? Who are you
as a child?
As a kid.
It's interesting you should say that. There was not a lot of kids around.
Okay.
By the time I was there.
Yeah.
So we had a neighbor boy that was about a mile from our house.
Okay, which is nothing to go see a buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he had a cute sister.
Oh, all the more. Now we're at a half mile.
Actually, several.
It's not even a mile at this point.
Some more of those spins. That's right.
That's adorable.
But he was 3 years younger than me.
Okay.
So that
so there is that.
But we had some good times.
You had to hang out with. Exactly.
And then there was a girl that was a couple years older than me.
Okay.
That was probably maybe a half a mile from the house.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. But because you were so remote, there aren't a lot of children around. So you kind of have to make do and find your own fun.
Absolutely.
With your siblings and whatever else. So what was fun? What did you do as a kid that was fun?
Well, we did play with neighbors.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a quick story about this girl that was the neighbor.
Okay, the cute one.
Well, no, she was the other one that was like a half a mile.
Too, but
she
not
was
as
cute too.
Yeah, exactly.
But she was a couple.
We don't want to insult her.
That's right. So she was like a half a mile away.
Got it.
And I, as a young boy, I was totally into playing marbles.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
that
yeah,
was a big
that's
thing.
a thing.
At recess in school
Absolutely.
and everything.
Yeah.
So I remember one time I went over to this neighbor's house. Her name was Kathy.
Okay.
And we got playing marbles. And I, being the pro that I was,
Champ.
won a whole bag of marbles
wow.
off of her.
There
Okay.
you go.
So I was pretty pleased.
So long.
So I went home that afternoon, and my mother saw my bounty there.
Right.
She wasn't having
No.
it. She said no. So I suffered it out, and then after dinner I had to march back over there and return up the marbles.
Give her marbles. Wow, that was very gentlemanly of you.
I wasn't very pleased.
I'll bet you were not. I'll bet you were not. That's great.
But yeah, other fun. We had a stream or brook down below the house, so there was trout in it.
Oh,
so
wow.
we did a lot of brook fishing. We loved that.
Yeah. Did you eat them?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
In fact, my dad always really appreciated him because he would tell about growing up on the farm before the electricity.
Sure.
When they ate a lot of salt pork.
Yeah.
Everything was salted.
Had to be preserved.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or fresh.
Yeah.
They'd butcher something.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But very few greens or anything.
Yeah.
So he said, time spring came.
Yeah.
They would go for dandelion greens. That was one of the first things that came up in the spring.
Absolutely.
So,
Still is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that and a batch of brook trout, and he was a happy
There
camper.
was your day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
So,
yeah. Yeah, a stream is a really great place to
is.
play as a kid,
Yeah,
right?
it
You can
is.
do all kinds
Yeah.
of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you swim in it?
Yes.
Was it deep
Yeah.
enough?
Yeah, in spots.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Spots.
Little hole,
we'd
little
dam
yeah,
it up.
exactly.
And,
yeah. Awesome. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and we hiked a lot.
I'll bet.
There was 12 or 13 working farms.
Okay.
When I was a kid on South
Okay.
Hill.
Wow.
And there was land galore. So,
Okay.
I mean, we hunted, fished, whatever, wherever we wanted.
Roamed.
Yeah, nobody
Roamed
cared.
all day. And there were no
Yeah.
street lights that you had to come home by.
Yeah, no. You didn't know. Cemetery to walk by. But
Exactly.
we went quickly
Right,
past that.
when the stars were out, you needed to be home. But other than that, what was your clock?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds lovely.
It was.
It sounds
Yeah,
lovely.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was a great childhood.
Yeah, it
we
sounds
had,
it.
tons of cousins and neighbors would stop by, and my mom was a real hostess.
Oh.
She just loved to have
company.
people in, and
Yeah.
we had a big eat-in kitchen
Yeah.
with a wood stove.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she
Lovely.
could, people would just drop in.
Yeah, sure.
And Mom would go down cellar. She'd come back with
Have
some
something.
canned stuff and
Yeah.
add to what we were doing,
Oh,
and
lovely.
she could feed
Yeah.
everybody.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
But the one of the things that really stuck with me growing up was aunts and uncles and neighbors stopping by, and just the stories around the table. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, and the laughter.
And you just sitting there
yeah,
soaking it all up.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now, I know South Hill now. I've only been on South Hill a couple of times. And
Okay.
I've been up here for close to 20 years. It's very different now than what it
yes,
was. So
very much
tell us about that change and how did that come about? Well, describe what it is now.
So now it's a lot of second homes.
Okay.
Predominantly second
Yeah.
homes,
Okay.
skiers.
Yeah.
The old farms have been sold off and
Been portioned off.
Portioned off.
Okay, right.
It's interesting. The farms at the time, they would sell the whole farm
Oh,
and think that they
it's
got
gonna stay.
gobs of money. We're going to retire
Right.
and be set for life. you
Right.
know. Well, that didn't really pan out.
really?
The real estate really increased up here.
Yeah,
And,
it did. Yeah.
I know one farmer in particular, he thought he was on Easy Street,
Yeah.
had to go back to work
Yeah.
when he was done. Bought a house in town. And
Yeah, exactly.
but-
Yeah. It's a very popular place.
It is.
It is a
It
very,
is.
and it's
It is.
beautiful.
It is. It's
It is
gorgeous.
absolutely beautiful.
It
And it
still
just
is.
kind of keeps going and going and going,
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're kind of towards the end of it. I mean, you're pretty close to the top of South Hill, would you say?
Yeah, we are. But the road continues on down through Smokeshare.
That's right. It keeps going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can go to Andover.
And I know I've been on part of your property, and I've hiked through it a little bit. And what's the name of the vista that you hiked
That's
to?
called Whetstone Hill.
Okay, Whetstone Hill.
Yeah.
And I happen to know that that was where you took your wife on your first date.
Wow.
I know that. Yes.
You're an investigator,
Yeah.
aren't you?
So I just listen.
It certainly was.
Yes.
Yeah, that
so
was,
your wife is Marcy. She's lovely.
Yeah.
And you and she still live there, and you have two children.
Two
and are they
children.
nearby?
They are.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great. And are they going to stay in Vermont?
We're hoping.
Yeah.
Fingers
crossed. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Good.
So my daughter and her partner are living in a house that I built for Marcy's dad.
Okay.
About 30 years ago.
Close by.
Yeah, close by.
Excellent. Okay.
And I'm helping my son now build a house.
Wonderful.
So,
oh,
yeah.
that's got to feel so good.
It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 To keep them here.
Yeah.
Keep them close,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And they seem to really like it. here,
Yeah.
and
That's lovely.
Yeah, and I'm proud
Yeah.
of them. We're
Yeah.
a tight family.
Good.
and yeah,
Yep.
It's
Yep.
great.
Yeah. And do you think part of that is you just mentioned being a tight family. Do you think part of that is from being a Vermonter?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say part of it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. And it's really how I was raised too. You know, I'm from a big family.
Right.
There's a lot of Tuckers.
Right.
My Uncle Dick used to call where we live Upper Tucker Hollow. So now we call it the high rent district.
Yeah, there you go.
But,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, growing up, family was first.
Yeah.
We didn't have much money.
Yeah. Didn't need it.
Didn't need it, but we always had plenty to eat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And plenty of fun and plenty
Plenty
of
of fun,
stories.
plenty of stories.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
So I know you brought some things to show us too.
I did.
Okay. You want
Yeah.
to show us those things?
Do you want to
Yeah,
go to
sure.
the pictures?
Let's see.
Or?
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Okay.
We might have to do a part 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may have bitten off more than you can chew here.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Well, let's see. I've got a couple. I'll show you a couple pictures of the old ones first
Okey-doke.
here.
30s, 40s, 50s is what it says on the cover here. 30s, 40s, 50s. Wow.
Let's see. That's the old farmhouse.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at here is, I mean, it's wood construction.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the roof? Is the roof
It's
slate?
wood shingles.
It is wood
yeah.
shingles, yeah.
And it was interesting. The farm was kind of going downhill by the time
Okay.
I was growing up.
Okay, sure.
You know,
Yeah.
my dad had his hands full.
Yeah.
6 kids.
Absolutely.
And trying to keep all these outbuildings
Yeah.
and stuff together.
Exactly. Yeah.
We didn't have the funds.
Right.
You know.
And that is part of farming is that it's not just your main house. It is these, you know, it is these outer buildings that are not used every day. You're not in there every single day. So you don't see them deteriorate until it's kind of, you know, wound its way through the process.
And you know, the barn was massive.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There was a huge...
Except the roof wasn't that high because your brother felt that. Yeah.
Right, right. So that's another shot of the old farmhouse.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at 1945. So this is still
A
during
little
World War
later on,
II.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah, World War II. Did your dad serve or anybody?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
No,
he was
he
probably
did
exempt
not.
because of his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 2 uncles that did.
Yeah.
but,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, May 11th, just a few days ago, was my oldest brother's birthday.
Oh. Okay.
He's since passed.
Okay.
But my mom always told the story that the year he was born on May 11th, they got 10 inches of snow.
In May.
In May.
Wow.
The apple blossoms were out on all the trees. And
Oh my goodness. Okay,
and
so I'm not going to complain about this past winter. It was nothing. It was nothing to complain about.
The doctor that came to the house had to snowshoe to deliver my brother.
Goodness. Wow. Yeah.
Doctor,
Weather's quirky. That's
Dr.
for sure.
Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at these.
There's
Oh my goodness.
one of my dad's first motorized tractors.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Anyhow, I just wanted to show you what the farm was like. And,
yeah.
I'll move on to some newer ones here.
Interesting. Okay. Bill and Marcy Tucker. 1 of 6.
That's a snapshot of my brother Jerry,
Wow.
my next oldest brother, on an old workhorse we had.
Wow. Look at that. And how old are you? You look
probably,
like a puppy. I mean, you're pretty small there.
1965, so I was 10.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it's a wood horse. And what does a wood horse mean?
Well, it was a horse that worked in the woods.
Okay. Logging.
Logging.
Yeah.
Logging.
You know, I heard an interesting thing that they said that if we could go back to logging with horses, it would leave such a healthier forest everywhere, not just the United States, but everywhere, because then you can only pull so many trees out.
Yeah.
And only do it in a certain way. You can't take a whole mountain down.
Well, it's what they now term low impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So we were ahead of our time and didn't know it back then, you know?
I mean, that is romanticized a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
In today's industry.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I do know a logger that does log with horses.
Really? Still?
He still does.
Honestly?
But
Wow.
he does that, I think, more because he likes it.
Yeah.
But he also has a skidder, too.
Yeah,
So, you know,
exactly. And it gets him out in the woods every day, right?
Gets him out
Yeah,
in the woods,
exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
But
all right.
this particular horse, he was semi-retired when we got him, but he was a big horse.
Yeah, he looks big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his name was Friar Tuck.
Oh, of course. Okay.
And we could take him up into the woods, and we had a little wire-haired fox terrier dog that would ride on his back. my brother Jim would put him up on the horse's back, and the dog would
just
ride right up into the woods.
I'm good. Yeah, my guy got 2 kids, might as well creep a dog.
Yeah.
What the damn
Yeah.
hurt. Awesome.
So
that's lovely.
My dad could hitch him up to a tree or a log in the woods.
Yeah.
And give him a slap on the rump and throw the reins over his back, and he'd go down to the landing.
By himself?
By himself.
Wow.
Yeah, he knew if he'd get hung up, he'd work it around and pull it off.
That's amazing.
But the thing with him, once it came about 4 o'clock, he was done.
He was done.
You might get one more hitch out of him, but he wasn't worth it.
It's happy hour.
Yeah.
He knew he knew when happy hour started. Can't blame him, you know. All right, what else you got here?
Okay. So that's a picture of my dad's
oh my goodness.
family.
So I'll hold this up so we can tell it. So this says Dick and Ken and Roger and Melba, Granny Tucker.
Yeah. Rena,
Norm, and Bill.
Yeah.
And your dad is Bill.
My dad is Norman.
Norman.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my dad. Second from the right there.
There you are. Ah, amazing. Lovely.
This is them in later years.
Yeah, in color.
Yeah, in color even.
Look we've gone Technicolor here. Look at that.
There's
wow.
my Uncle Roger's missing from that picture.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these are all your aunts and uncles on one side.
Yep, except for this. This is a cousin of my dad's.
Got it.
He was from the.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus one more.
Yeah, there was 8. Yeah.
Wow.
And all of these folks were characters in their own right.
I'll bet. Oh, that's
this
lovely.
is my Uncle Dick.
Okay.
He had the greatest sense of humor.
Yeah.
It just, you never knew what he was going to
come out with.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Lovely.
He could, well, 3 of the brothers could walk on their hands.
Really?
So Uncle Dick would come around when there was a bunch of kids around, and he'd walk on his hands for us. But he'd always make sure he had a pocket full of change.
And it would fall out.
It would fall out, and us kids always thought it was an accident. And we'd scramble for it. You know?
Oh, he must have been a favorite.
He was.
I'm sure he was a favorite. Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
This is my folks when before they were married.
Wow. Okay, so this is 1937. Look at this. Look at the car in the background.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
They were putting on the Ritz on that one.
They were exactly. Wow.
I don't think I ever.
That's lovely.
Saw my father in a suit and tie, maybe
suit and
twice.
tie and a bottle of something.
Yeah, glass of wine, I guess.
Yeah, let's hope not moonshine. Could have been. Who knows?
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So these are skipping ahead a little.
Wow. These are your siblings.
Yeah, this is me when I was very little in the cold farmhouse, all bundled up reading comic books.
There you go. Yeah.
So that was a great thing with our double cousins. We both families collected comic books.
Oh,
that was a big.
That would have been a big thing, and then you could share them.
Well, and then we'd get together. We'd trade a whole stack.
Right, you trade them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We'd trade a whole stack. So that must have been a fresh batch.
That's amazing. Yeah. So that was Christmas.
That was Christmas.
That was like Christmas. That's lovely. And this page says oxen.
Yes.
So these are working oxen.
Yeah.
In addition to the horses, this is what you used for horsepower.
This was next generation. These oxen were actually my brother Jim's.
Okay.
And he trained them.
Wow. That's amazing. And that's what you used to work the farm.
Yeah. Yeah, they were good.
I'll bet.
He could back a wagon with those guys.
Really?
Yeah,
I can't even back my car.
I know, right?
Yeah. that camera? I can't imagine doing it with an oxen.
So
wow. Awesome.
So there's an interesting story about the oxen. So when us kids would get out of school in the summertime,
sure,
the shoes came off.
Yeah.
We wouldn't put them on again, not until we went back to school.
Right.
We'd get a mohawk haircut, and we were a little bit feral.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
Yeah. We were tough farm kids.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But I remember one time we were taking these oxen out and getting the yoke put on them, and my brother Gene was standing there with his bare feet. And one of the oxen stepped on his foot, planted it right on him. And Gene's sitting there, and he's like hitting on the ox, and the ox just chewing his cud.
There's a fly down by my feet.
And Gene's in agony, you know. And finally he goes, "Please, Mr. Ox, please get off my foot." And it was like, it was like the Red Sea. He just picked his foot off. He just
had to ask nicely.
That
was all. Yeah. And what was the injury? Was it?
He was okay.
He didn't break his
was
foot.
Red.
Wow.
You know, but it was in the barnyard. I think the dirt was soft enough.
Yeah,
you know, but
wow, that hurt.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 2 injuries to 2 brothers.
Oh, well, that's just getting started.
That's another show.
That's another
exactly.
show.
Yeah. That's
right.
another episode. Let's go through the Tucker boy injuries.
Yes,
exactly.
There's my poor mother.
Let me hold that up if
Sure.
I can. Is this will come out? So this is the oxen that stepped on, what was a brother?
Gene.
Gene, that stepped on Gene's foot. There you go. All right.
Let's see. Oh, these were some parties they had at the house. Yeah.
Okay.
This was a neighbor down the road.
Okay.
They had some great parties.
I'll bet.
Yeah, Roy was a real character.
Excellent. Yeah. New Year's. And so that would be, your neighbors would get together.
Absolutely.
Didn't have to go anywhere. You got to stumble back home.
That's right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Just lovely.
Yeah, that's the ox again.
Okay. Wow.
And
so did they use ox and horses at the same time, or were they? Were oxes good for some things and horses?
Yeah. So the only one thing we found with the oxen, they're much slower than a horse.
Yeah. Okay.
So I do remember we had a horse-drawn mowing machine.
Okay.
With a cutter bar. It was powered by the wheels turning on the ground. While the oxen didn't travel fast enough to make so it would plug up.
Yeah. And the oxen was like, oh, gee, I guess I can't do that job.
But so strong.
Yeah.
They're so strong. Yeah. And they'll work all day.
Yeah.
I mean, they can.
Yeah. They don't have to stop at 4.
Yeah.
They don't stop at 4. That's good to know. Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah. So another thing that we did as a family, we always hiked.
Okay.
And would take picnics.
Okay.
Sunday afternoon, we'd pack a picnic and head off in the woods.
Wherever. Yeah. Oh, lovely.
That's a picture from one of our.
That's amazing.
One of our picnics.
Awesome. Huh. Yeah, I guess there wasn't. What else was there to do?
Yeah.
Right. Just go out and you're this close to nature.
Yeah.
Might as well enjoy it.
Absolutely.
You know? Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, so there's a picture of my brothers with the mohawk
With the
haircuts
mohawks, yeah.
and the
You were
bare,
ahead of your time.
bare feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, no
that,
shoes.
That was our
That was your
uniform.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
My mom, there was a pasture we could see from the farmhouse,
Okay.
on a hillside pasture
Okay.
that faced directly to the north.
Right.
So the snow had to be completely off that pasture before we could go barefoot.
There you go. And that was the last
That was
patch of snow to melt.
That's right.
That's a good
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah.
That's good timing. That's fair. Yeah. And then you also couldn't argue with her about it.
No, you
know, it's
couldn't.
like, that's the rule.
Yeah.
It's like, well, do
Yeah.
you see snow? Yes, then
Yeah.
you can't keep then you got to put your shoes
You
on.
got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like the way your mom thinks. Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's a picture of the farmhouse in the wintertime.
Wow. That's got to be a couple feet of snow.
Well, yeah, it was a lot of snow.
Yeah.
And
Did it snow? Do you found that it snowed more when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, everybody says
I
that.
know, and I don't know that that's true or not, but it does feel that way.
It honestly is. Yeah.
It absolutely does feel that way. Exactly.
It's interesting. You know, I told you about getting power
Yeah.
to the farmhouse.
Right.
When I was a kid, I remember the power going out quite often in the wintertime.
Oh.
And one day we were almost a week without power.
Wow.
And
That's a long
the
time.
the road was very narrow in front of the farmhouse, and they used to take a grader with a wing on it, and they'd wing the snowbanks back.
Right. Okay.
Well, we got a real blizzard one time, and the snowbanks were already high, and the wind just filled the road in.
Right
I mean,
back in.
just so you couldn't even see it.
You weren't going anywhere.
Yeah, we were I think 4 or 5 days before they got
Hunkered
it
up.
hunkered
Yeah.
up. And when they did, the National Guard came through with this giant
To
snowblower.
get you out. Really, it
to
was
plow-
that you were
yeah,
that
yeah,
snowed in.
yeah,
And your mother must have been so happy to see those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Right this way, officer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, we had a pretty good larder, and we had wood heat.
Yeah.
So we
exactly.
were okay.
Right, you just were underfoot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And you know, like I said, with the farmhouse being very cold.
Yeah.
There was no central heat.
No. No.
When I was little, we actually had an outhouse in the back shed.
Oh my.
You had to go out through the woodshed.
Oh my.
And there was a 3-hole outhouse. Out in the back.
Wow.
Actually, the one we had was a little ahead of its time.
Okay.
Because there was a trap door on the end of it.
Okay.
And it had a big iron sled that would go underneath the business end.
Right.
And you could hook a team of horses onto it in the spring and pull it out.
Right. Oh,
and
that was modern.
Yeah,
that was modern times going on there. Wow. Talk about cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
you limited your trips.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
they were kind of speedy.
Yes,
so,
I would think so. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to back up just for a second
sure.
because it jogged my memory, and I thought of a
Okay.
story here. So I've told you about my mother being a great hostess and having the get-togethers around the kitchen table and all that. About the farmhouse being cold. So my folks' bedroom was right above the kitchen.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And there was a little vent that was basically between the wood stove and the kitchen table.
Right.
Overhead.
Right. To bring the warmth up.
To let some heat up.
Yeah.
So us kids, when there was a house full of grown-ups all talking around the kitchen table, we'd go up and lay like a star shape around that hole, and we could eavesdrop.
Yes,
you know?
and you heard stories that might not have been meant for you.
Well, one time, a bunch of us kids were playing upstairs, and we were all leaning around the hole, and we had a house full of people.
Right.
And somebody had scrambled under my folks' bed. Well, me telling about the outhouse being so far away.
Right.
My dad always kept what they used to call a thunder jug.
Right.
Under the bed.
Right. Oh dear.
Well, somebody crawled under the bed and accidentally tipped that over.
Oh my goodness.
And wouldn't you know, the floor was sloped just enough, so guess where it went?
It went through the hole.
It went through the floor.
Through the floor.
Through the hole in the floor to the guests.
Who are down below.
My mother was mortified.
I'll bet she was. I'll bet she was.
We heard the downstairs door open and my father coming up the stairs. And we knew that this wasn't going to end well.
Out of here. Yeah. Exactly. That would be injury number 3 of one of the brothers.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was one of the times I think we were lined up by the barn.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I am going to pause us here,
absolutely.
Bill.
Yeah.
This has been absolutely delightful. I do think we're going to have to do a second part. Yeah, because I feel like we haven't even touched the surface.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Such an interesting childhood, such an interesting history. You just seem like a person that appreciates and values living here.
Oh yes.
And the generations that have lived here before you, and just keeping peace with them, keeping a bit of them around you, you know, and now your children are here. So this is so lovely. It's been so lovely to talk to you. I mentioned in my email that I was going to ask people, when you think back on your life and you think, you know, what are some things that really changed the direction? You know, I call them defining moments. So are there 1 or 2 things that you could have gone this way and you didn't? You went that way. Or is there 1 or 2 things that you really think, I could have done this and I didn't? I did something else. Anything come to mind?
Yeah, the first and foremost, and I guess probably a lot of people would say this, but meeting Mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so.
That was a game changer.
I would think so. Yes.
Put
you on the straight and narrow is what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little reckless in
Were
my
you?
youth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And she reined you in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I managed to quit smoking. I quit drinking.
There you go. Look at that. Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you hadn't met her, your life might be completely differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might not even be here.
Who knows?
Honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? None of us know that for sure. But that's great.
And she's my life partner.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're lucky to have her. You're lucky to have each other.
So lucky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So well, I am going to close this out now.
Yeah.
Okay. As I said, we may revisit. All right. So I'm going to just say goodbye to our guests, or I'm going to say goodbye to our guests, but then I'm going to say goodbye to our audience. And I just want you to know that that is information that you can hang your hat on. Okay. I'm Shawn Kershaw, and this is To Whom It May Concern. And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.